Oh, I have something to update with you. Like, since I'm on the detox stuff, and then I do including my meditation and some like yoga and something with the a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation, and then I feel like I have new energy, but it's not so much like a big change, but I feel like I can deal with my busy day at work easily. And I feel like very light, and then I can work with the stuff like easier than before.
Right. It's a big difference, right?
Maybe it is. And then I feel like it's kind of like many things come all together, so it's good.
It's like whenever I go back to eating, I mean, I can eat a little bit of cooked food here and there, but once I go back to eating cooked food all the time, this feeling of feeling light disappears. I start to I can see the connection to the emotional. So if there's everything starts to feel a little bit more heavy. So I do the detox in like periods of time, but eventually, I mean, I will always eat healthy and have a lot of fruits and raw food and stuff, but at some point in the future I will also eat a little bit of cooked food, but I will not eat as much as I used to. So I will eat not every day, I don't think. I can feel that my energy gets affected straight away.
I just feel like, this energy is so cool. Like, I don't want to like make them like fading away.
Yes. Yes, but that's how I feel too. It's like I don't want to lose that energy, and I have to lose the energy. And then if I do feel like cravings and I have to have this sort of food, or then I know that I haven't really worked through everything that I would like to work through. And that's a big thing is the topic for today, the Candida and the parasites, because it's about choosing the food that you know is good for you, but then not being able to stick to it because of other reasons. Because sometimes we like, either it's the belief system, like, I cannot eat like this, or but most of the time it is the Candida and the parasites that makes us eat things that we crave, the cravings. It's so much connected to the cravings.
I read all the PDF you gave already. Do you think I can ask you now or later when we have a meeting with other people?
Yeah, we can talk after, so I can start to talk about it. I mean, if you already read everything, then very good. So so we do it in the right order.
Okay, cool.
Hello, Maida.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you low.
Yeah, great.
A little bit, not very loud.
Okay, I don't know I mean, I have my headphones in and they don't have a microphone in them, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but now you somehow
better.
Yeah.
Okay. I just moved my laptop closer to myself.
Okay. Easy.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, great. Yeah, I could hear you guys talking about like light energy, and I found that when I first started fasting, I was really heavy on the intermittent fasting last year, and it just felt like there's this like plateau, like, so it's when you first start, it's like maybe at 10 a.m. in the morning when your body's just like, give me something to eat, I want something to eat, and then it goes past 12, and then all of a sudden you have this like second wind that your your energy is going towards the work that you're doing or whatever it is that you have. And you're sharp, and then your mind can just really focus rather than spend all this time digesting something. And that's what I noticed a lot last year. And it's a bit harder for me this year to get on it, because I think I don't have like a set schedule like I did last year, so it's a bit harder in that sense. But like I even just with doing this detox, doing like the raw food during the day, cooked food at night, yeah, I can tell the difference in energy.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot. So
yeah, it's definitely as you say, I can totally relate to what you say about there's something happening around, like in the morning time, when the body says, hey, give me something, and then it kind of, oh, okay.
yeah.
It doesn't create that much fuss about it, actually.
Yeah.
And then it says, okay, and then it's very interesting what you say. It feels like all the energy is redirected to what you're doing. It's so much easier to focus.
Yeah, I found that like I had even more like creativity with it as well, because like I've never experienced before, because it's just kind of like now you don't want your mind to keep thinking about, oh, I'm hungry. Now it's like, okay, let me focus on this one project, and then it forgets that you were hungry. And then
yes.
Yeah.
I even started the dry fasting, the intermittent dry fasting.
Yeah, wow.
So I do 17 hours of dry fasting. So I start the dry fast at 8 p.m. and then I go until 1 p.m.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And
okay.
It's super easy.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, because that's not like googling water, just like apple cider vinegar water kind of.
No, but I honestly have to say that it's easier than doing the water.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. It's
interesting.
I'm surprised that it's so easy. I think I'm on day 4 now, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
But it's I do it to work through emotional stuff, and it's working, I can tell you.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah. All right, enough about that. Let's do some Candida and parasites. And please, do you have questions? Lou, do you have some questions?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good.
Because I read all of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of like, it means like I have to go like 100% raw food, and then to go with the Candida and parasite protocol. Does that mean?
It
like
does.
That?
It does.
okay.
But let's do that later. Let's do that after. But
okay.
yeah. I mean, you can always adjust, but we can do that later.
Okay.
Okay. Mute yourselves, and I will unmute you, and we will unmute you a little bit later. Okay. Hello and welcome to the 3rd week of the detox group. Today we will focus on one of my favorite subjects, the parasites and the Candida. So why is this one of my favorite topics? Well, after I've been detoxing for almost 2 years, quite deep, I was on 5 months of all fruit. I don't know how long together I was in only raw, and I've been doing plenty of fasting, different kinds. And I mean, all of that work gave me fantastic results. And then I realized, but it was like, I always fell back into the cooked food. Like there was this, I had to have the mindset and like determination to push through. It was difficult. And then after 5 months on fruits, for instance, then the cravings got so bad, and then I said like, oh, I'm done. And then I had like a period of time that I was eating a lot of cooked food, because it was like this unbalanced feeling. I had to really, really spend so much effort into sticking with the detox. And then once I was out of the detox, I kind of fell over to the other side. And that has been the story of my life, basically. It's been very easy for me to focus for a long period of time, but it's like it takes so much energy to push through that it was difficult. Like once I was out of it, I kind of fell over to the other side. And then it came to my attention that it was one of my teachers who said, but I mean, Sara, you have Candida. And I was like, yes, I do. And then it was like this thing that has been in front of me for so long. And it's so obvious. And I've been studying this detox and I've been working with it. And it's like we live and breathe this detox. But it's like it was invisible to me. And then once I realized that, wow, that's what it is. And I started to research more, and I was like, yeah. And then I realized that you need to have a herbal protocol to help the Candida and the parasites. I mean, the symptoms and the treatments are quite similar, so that's why people tend to cluster them and put them together. And so I realized I need to have a herbal protocol, because of course you can kind of starve them out, but then it takes a lot of dedication for a long period of time. And the thing with the Candida and the parasites is that once you start to like clean them out, you cannot add food for them at the same time. So you want to starve them, and you want to add the herbs to make the process faster. So Lou, the question that you had about do I have to go fully raw? I mean, you don't. I mean, it depends on what you eat. I mean, everything doesn't feed the Candida and the parasites, but it will take longer time. And for me, I was just so determined to get rid of this. So I went. It was easy for me to be very strict once I realized what it was and when I ordered the herbs. So what I did was that I researched a lot of herbs, and since a couple of years, I think 3 years almost, I've been doing DrMorse. He has herbs and like different tinctures and capsules that are extremely effective, very, very high vibe. They're fully organic. They even charge every single bottle in the sun before they ship them. It's like they are super dedicated to their work, and they are very, very potent. And he makes tinctures and capsules and different kinds for specific organs and specific issues. And he has 2 different ones for parasites. And so I ordered from him, and I also ordered another one called Mimosa pudica, and I ordered that. So both of them I ordered from abroad, and they are quite expensive. And the mimosa is like it's almost like a chia seed. It's like they swell a little bit, and it kind of brings the parasites and the Candida out on the way out. So together with the different herbs that kind of massages the bowel and starts to affect the critters, and starts to change up the environment and the energy, and then the mimosa kind of brings it out on the way out through the bowels. So but when I ordered those, so the DrMorse formulas, he doesn't ship to Thailand, so I order from Australia. But it's like sometimes it takes 3 weeks for them to arrive, sometimes it takes 6 weeks, and from the States it also took like almost a month. And I knew that when I ordered, and I was like, I'm so excited, I want to get started right away. So I started to research and see if I could find local herbs, and I found local herbs, and they are way cheaper, and I received them within a week. But it's like I didn't have much faith in the local ones. I have no idea why is that. But I started taking them, and so I was going on month by month protocols. And after a month on the local herbs, I had extremely good results, and I knew that they were very effective because my cravings were through the roof during this protocol. It was like I was hanging on to my bed sometimes, like give me food. And I've been vegetarian for almost 10 years. I haven't eaten meat in 10 years. And I was craving beef and burgers and pizza and all kinds of stuff. I was crazy, but I also knew that due to these detox symptoms, I also knew that the stuff was happening, that it was effective. So I stuck it out. And then after a month, I tried a little bit, because you don't know when they are gone. You can only feel it, and you can feel it with cravings. It's like if you eat a little bit of what they enjoy as food, if you eat sugar or so sugar is like rice and starch. It's sugar, it turns into sugar in your system. So I had a little bit of rice, I had a little of, my favorite is Burmese tea leaf salad, and there's like these fermented tea leaves, and I had a little bit of those, and then it was fine for a couple of days, and then my craving just boom went right back up. And then I knew, okay, I wasn't done. So then I did another month, and since then I've been doing, and then the DrMorse tinctures and formulas and the mimosa arrived, so I did that as well. And I started to fast. So I was on fruit and a little bit of raw food when I did the local herbs. And then I started fasting. So I did a 2-week fast on the mimosa and the DrMorse. And then I started to really, really release. I mean, I could see in the bowels that it was like these long yellow stuff. And that was probably the Candida. So after, and that was quite intense. I also intuitively went in, I was doing watermelon juice, and then my body was like, it didn't even want the juice. So I was more or less dry fasting. I was doing like a couple of glasses of watermelon juice, and together with all the herbs and the mimosa, then things really started to kick in. And after that, I felt pretty good, but I am still very aware, because I know it takes time to clean it out. But I feel like the emotional is so different. It's like I feel balanced. Balanced is the word. It's not this up and down. And energy-wise, it's fantastic. If you suspect that you have issues with Candida or parasites, then I highly, highly recommend that you do one of these cleanses. And especially if you're located in Thailand, then you have these local herbs available that are very good. So yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity to gain more energy, and it's so deeply connected to everything that we feel and how our belief systems. It's difficult to explain before you actually experience it yourself. But if you feel that intuitively that something is not really right, then, and when you read through these informations and you see the symptoms and you feel like, wow, I think I have that, then definitely try to do one of these protocols. It's way worth it. So why do we have Candida and parasites? So the Candida comes from a combination of weak adrenals and the lifestyle, because the adrenals are affecting sugar metabolism, and if that's not really working well, and we have a lifestyle that you get like an overload of sugars, then that starts to feed the Candida, which the Candida and the parasites we already have in the system because they're part of our natural gut flora. But we're not supposed to have growth or way too much parasites. And there's also a lot of parasites that don't belong in the body in the first place, like different worms and stuff like that. There's different kinds. And so the lifestyle and the diet is absolute key. And the parasites we can get from, we can accidentally get it. There's tons of parasites in meat and in fish, and especially like raw fish. I mean, the amount of sushi that I've eaten in my life, I love it. And just the thought, I've been eating a lot of carpaccio, like raw meat, and and you can get parasites from all kinds of places, like water and not clean vegetables and things like that. So it's vegan or meat eater, you can still get it. And some people, you can also get it from your pets. I had a dog back in Sweden, and I was very cozy and cuddly with her, and she was giving me kisses all the time, and so you can get parasites from there. Parasites can even come through the feet, the soles of your foot, if you step in, let's say, old dog poo that has parasites in it, that they can go through the feet, the soles of the feet. So they come from everywhere. So I truly recommend you to do these protocols. And some sources say that it's even 80 to 90% of all people who live like a modern lifestyle has either Candida or parasite. So it's super, super common. So if you feel that that your intuition says that you should that you might have it, then you probably do. Okay, let's do questions. I will unmute you. Or maybe you unmute yourselves. All right, do we have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I think like what I have seen in local shops for the herb is moringa, and spirulina, maybe the gioculanti too. Yeah. You think how if I only focus on this like moringa and spirulina, you think it's enough, or you have to find something more too?
I think, did you see the little booklet with the herbs that I sent you?
Yeah.
So in there's different options. I would highly suggest, the moringa is like it's a fantastic, it's called the leaf of life. I think it's like this overall boost. And of course you can do a lot of herbs that boost the overall energy of the body, because that will give the body more energy to clear the Candida and the parasites out. But what you do need is specific herbs for the reason to clear out the Candida and the parasites. And what I would highly suggest from the herbs that I sent out is one blend called Parasites and Candida. That one I suggest, together with papaya leaf and neem, because the neem is super powerful, and so is the papaya. So for Candida and parasite specific, I would use a combination of those three.
Oh, what is the first one?
It's the Candida. It's called Candida and Parasite Cleanse.
Oh, okay.
It's the little booklet that I sent with the herbs.
Yeah.
I have all of those. I have so we incorporate them for ourselves and for our staff and for all the people who live here, our guests. So instead of ordering from the outside all the time, I started to find local producers who I could either do wholesale from, but we have also found herbs from the King's Project that we have bought.
Oh, the King's Project.
Yeah.
Have you checked in Eden that they have that too?
No, they don't have it at Eden.
Ah, okay.
But I have, so you can, if you want it, I have.
I can come to your place
yes.
and then I check with you.
Yes, you can.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there a certain time that's best to take these herbs? I guess maybe the Candida parasite one is that you have.
You mean with a better time?
Yeah, is there a best time to take, like in the morning before food or after? Or?
So you take them twice per day. So you take them in the morning and in the evening.
Morning and evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you take them all together one time in the morning. So I usually take, so all the DrMorse stuff you take 3 times per day. So I have like a morning routine, a lunch routine, and an evening routine that I take all my herbs and pills.
Okay. And you have all of these in the booklet at the place?
Yes. So I think I wrote somewhere the recommendation that I just said, the combination of the parasite and Candida together with the neem leaf and the papaya leaf. Those are the 3 that I highly, highly recommend together for the best result of cleaning out the parasites and the fungus. And the other herbs I sent, because those are herbs that we also have. And the moringa, as Lou said, is it's absolutely phenomenal for the overall energy. And we also have like black ginger that is fantastic for to work with the root chakras. And all the information and what they are good for are in the little booklet. So you can read. So if there's other herbs that you also feel drawn to when you read the description, then there's no problem to add those in the mix as well, if you feel like you want a bigger boost, so to speak.
I've been like drinking moringa tea, kind of the leaves, and just drying them, and that's okay too. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can drink. We drink the neem leaves as tea also, but it's super bitter, and the amount. Yeah. So what happens with the tea is that the difference between the tea and the capsules are that the capsules are packed with. So you get a much bigger dose. So you get what they call like a therapeutic dose of the herb. So when it's used for more medicinal reasons. So when you drink the moringa, maybe you won't get as much. I mean, you need to drink a lot of tea to get the same amount.
Yeah.
So that's the. But of course, I mean, the herbal teas are fantastic. So keep on drinking those teas.
Yeah. Do you know much about ashwagandha? I found it in India last year. I was having trouble sleeping, and it really helped with that. But I don't know if it like helps with any of this like detox parasites.
I haven't read that they work well just for that specific reason. But however, the ashwagandha is very, very potent. So people use it for all kinds of reasons, but a lot of emotional stuff like anxiety and depression. I don't remember all the benefits, but it's like one of the top 5 or 10 herbs to use when you have emotional issues, and as you said, like for sleeping and stress, and very good for the adrenals, I think. So yeah, so I mean, there's a million fantastic herbs out there, so just use whatever you feel drawn to, and there's no real reason why you can't add a lot of different herbs in the mix. You can just go with, maybe you read up on some things might not go together, I mean, and check the dosages and stuff like that, but the common ones you can mix together.
And I think I read in the, am I asking too many questions?
No.
Okay. I think I read in the booklet about I can't pronounce the clay. So it's bentonite.
The bentonite clay. Yes.
And that is supposed to help with everything, or like, and I'm just I'm wondering when to take that as well too, because I've read on the internet, you take it 2 hours before you eat or after, and then I'm trying to like time all these herbs and supplements, and it's just very like you have to be on a strict schedule, or otherwise okay. When do you
meditation.
take, do you have I know.
Yeah, so the bentonite clay is to clean out the bowels, and it's so I use something called the GI broom that is from DrMorse, and that has bentonite clay in it, together with psyllium husk powder and many different herbs. It is super potent, but that one, same as the bentonite, no eating 2 hours before and no eating 2 hours after. So I've been using the GI broom quite a lot, but it is a little bit of a hassle to get it in the schedule. So what I've done is that I've taken it the absolute first thing in the morning.
Okay. And I wrote in the chat, someone actually gifted me the mimosa
pudica. Really?
Yeah, they just, I met them, and they were she's a doctor, Thai doctor, and she had it, someone had given her, so she said to take it first thing in the morning. So but then with the clay, I was like, do I take both of them in the morning, or
no, you don't.
That's not right, you cannot do that.
You need to separate them. Okay. So what I did with my mimosa was that I took it the last thing I did before I went to bed.
Okay. I've been taking zinc before bed, but can you take it?
Yeah, the zinc, it depends. I mean, you do whatever you feel is good for you, but I stopped with all those supplements that are not herbs, because the hormone and the organ or the gland that is producing like calcium or like all these minerals, like if you supplement from the outside, the gland that is supposed to utilize it gets weakened because it doesn't have to produce it on its own. So
is it okay to, if you're doing it, to just kind of boost the immune system back up again, or does it just make it worse?
I would not take it.
Okay.
I heal, because it's like you're giving it fake energy, because the body is supposed to produce the energy on its own. It's like the organ or the gland gets lazy and just stops producing it on its own. So I was on, I think, 10 different supplements for years by my doctors in Sweden, and I had no idea that. So I mean, now when I'm off everything, I just have to work harder to get them back into the shape that they're supposed to be. So I would not take any of those supplements. I would only use the herbs and the food, and allow it to take time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. So the clay in the morning, and then the mimosa at night. All right.
But you could also do the clay at night. Some people take it the last thing they do before they go to bed.
Okay.
So you could also do the mimosa in the morning and the clay at night. But the reason why I don't do it at night, because you need to drink
water.
You could drink some water or juice with it, and then I'm up peeing all night. So
yeah.
For me, I just switched it around.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you, and hi everybody. I was wondering, does dry fasting exclude the Candida cleaning? Like, is it, because actually I didn't know that dry fasting is intermittent fasting. It's the same for you, right?
No, it's not the same. I just dry fast intermittent. So the intermittent fasting is that you have an eating window and a fasting window.
Exactly, because this I do for more than 1 year already. But I didn't realize until I read about intermittent fasting. So it's really like my daily life. I didn't have to. And
that's
so
great.
then I was wondering, so the dry fasting is different than the intermittent. So the dry one excludes the Candida cleansing, but the intermittent doesn't, right?
No, the intermittent is just it's so you can do the intermittent. You can do it dry, or you can do it with juice, or so. The main thing is that you don't eat food from one set time in the evening until a set time in the day. So you could go dry, and dry means no food, no water, nothing. And you could also only do juice during these hours. So, but the thing is that you don't eat any food, so that's why it's called the fasting. So you can do different kind of fasting, but you can also do it intermittent. And the intermittent only means that you have an eating window and a fasting window.
Exactly. And the dry is, as I guessed, it's dry without anything of sunlight, right?
So whenever you fast, you boost the system to heal faster. So you eliminate all the energy that goes to the digestive system. All of that energy goes into healing the body instead. So with intermittent fasting, instead of doing like a long juice fast for like a week, you do it a little bit every day instead, with maybe 16 hours per day. So it's a way to incorporate the fasting a little bit easier into the life, because your energy won't go as low, because you will eat during later in the day, but you will still get benefits. But of course you won't get the same benefits from intermittent fasting as you would as going on a long period fasting protocol, because that things happens when the day passes, and it's like layers and layers and layers. And but it's a fantastic way to get fasting in. And I started to do the dry fasting now. So I work on my overall health. So the things that I need to work on still is the thyroid. The thyroid is not healed 100%, I can feel it because my body is not reacting as it should in different areas. And I also believe that it's blocked because I have emotional stuff that I haven't worked through yet. And I also have stress issues that I've had from my previous lifestyle in Sweden, where I worked in like the corporate world and had tremendous stress, and even I collapsed from stress. I lost my memory and my speech for a while. That was so my adrenals are also not they have not recovered yet, and my kidneys aren't filtering as, I mean, they are filtering finally, but they could probably filter more. And so I think that a lot of this stuff is connected with I need to work through the stress. I need to allow the nervous system to calm down like deeply, and it takes time. But the unworked emotional stuff that I have that I still need to work through, is all of those things are blocking the healing. And it's time so you go through different layers, and I found that okay, I need to work through this is the time to work through this. And since I've been fasting a lot and been on the fruit a lot and the raw food, and since it's been my lifestyle for a couple of years, sometimes I feel it's difficult with motivation and to get deep, and it feels like the body is also used to different things, and it's like I need to mix it up a little bit. And then I was presented to, I mean, I've known about dry fasting for a long time, but now it was time for me to go deeper with that. And just during these 4 days, it's like someone described it as you have a towel that you kind of squeeze out the last drops of the water. When you twist it, that's how it feels with the dry fasting. So it feels like it's scraping my insides of so old stress pattern comes back, things that I have worked through from a long time ago. Those things comes up. It didn't take many days before I started feeling extremely overwhelmed. But I realized that I'm not overwhelmed. It's just things passing through on the way out, and I feel it. So it's the dry fasting is very, very powerful. So people don't have to, and it's also about the intention. What intention do you set with your fasting? Because because I've seen people, I mean, we have plenty of people that come here for different kinds of fasts, and if their intention is to really work through their issues, it's like people who are so fed up with where they are in life, and they're desperate to change, then they use the detox and the fasting to really just put everything up to the surface to see what they need to work on, and they change like this. It's just boom, 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 boom. And then I also have people who are fighting the detox, and they don't, it's like I feel that they are holding back, and they don't get the change. So it's like you have to allow, and you have to be willing to work with it. And it's about your intention. Like, I want to see what's coming up. I want to see, because I want to move on. I want to reach higher dimensions. I want to be happy. I want to be free. So the detox is not only about healing the physical body. It's a fantastic gateway to open up to all other things, like the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, everything. It's a amazing tool. So
yeah, this I'm totally aware of. Thank you for reminding. So do you don't drink and eat for 16 hours, right?
Yeah, 17 hours I do the dry fast.
And which maybe I missed because I was late, I'm sorry. No which times are you doing it? Because I wonder, I mean, back in Sweden in wintertime, okay, the air is windy and cold, so you need water, but here in Thailand it's quite hot. So how do you do with the fluids? I mean, because in the other 8 hours you probably cannot drink like 7 liters. No, I mean just mean like, are you then, or you get used to it, or did you like start with 12 hours because you're sleeping 6 or 7, or how do you do that you're gonna, I mean, I guess the sleeping time is in these 16 hours.
The sleeping times are in. And
exactly. So a couple of hours anyways that.
Yes. So the dry fasting is not something that you do in the beginning. That is something that you work your way up to.
Of course.
Yes. So, but once you start to experiment with the dry fasting, you will realize that I mean, at least for me, it was not difficult at all. It was a little bit scary in the beginning, like, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm not drinking anything, and then it's like, yeah, I'm thirsty, I don't drink anything. It's like, and I can feel that the body is not, it's feeling great. I mean, the lightness that Lou was talking about in the beginning, from just the fasting, it's like another step, but it's not something that you should do like recklessly. Just start with, if you feel drawn to it, you start, you can start just like a couple
experimenting.
Yes, like 2 hours before you go to bed, and then you can start with 2 hours after you wake up, and then the next day you can go 3 hours, and then the next day, or then you do that for a couple of days, and then you do another hour. So, and if you feel that the body is starting to react, if you're getting reactions, then you start to drink again. And you eat, and then you eat fruits and vegetables. And so it's not about jumping into a situation where you deprive your body from food and fluids for 2 days. It's like hour by hour.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Because I mean, I got into this intermittent fasting without even knowing. Just it happened to me. Like it happened to me, and if I wouldn't have read about it, I wouldn't know that it has a definition.
Yeah.
So, and now I was just wondering, like how the dry fasting is. I mean, I could just try like what time and look how it feels, but not do it like on purpose if my body doesn't feel good then, because I want to take care of my body. And this is why I didn't really care about intermittent fasting until I read about it. And now I think, okay, there is a definition. So I don't want to push myself, like I don't want to hurt my body. I just wanna, I was interested because you have already experienced it, and I didn't really hear or read anything before you now talked about it. And I think it's, you have to play a little bit to start something if you don't get into it like just happening. I mean, if it just happens, then it just happens. But
yes, then that's why it feels like you're already doing it. So you can, with your intention, you can set it, and you can start to actually pay attention to how the body feels. So the important thing is that you don't need to over drink and overeat during your eating window.
Exactly.
But you have to make sure that you drink enough. So you cannot do like dry fasting for 12, 14, 16 hours and then not drink enough after. So what I would focus on is a lot of fruits, because the fruits is like 95, 97, 98% water, and it's living water, and that's the kind of water that the body really, really wants. I mean, coconut water, any kind of fresh juice is great. If you have a blender, that I mean, I have a juicer, but it's like I don't even have the. It just takes forever to juice. It's like I was like, oh, I can't be bothered, doing like 1 hour of juicing for like, no, it's like I know, I don't have the the energy. Well, I have the energy, but I won't do it. So what I do is like I put like a watermelon in the blender and add a little bit of water and I blend it, and then voila, it's done. And I do the same with grapes, and you can do it with, you can mix around and make your own like juice in the blender, and then make sure that you get your fluids that way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the same with intermittent fasting. Then you cannot just eat lunch and that's it. Then you would be really too that. But this is like happening with the body naturally.
Yes.
If you listen to it, then it's for the body. Then you just do what the body tells you, and if it gets used to this lifestyle, I would say, then it takes what it wants and what it needs actually.
So for you, I since I know a little bit about your situation, I would highly recommend the Candida and the Parasites. Highly.
Exactly.
And for you, you would probably do it for, I mean, it's very, very good that you're already fasting, that you're doing the intermittent fasting, and that you're consciously moving out over to the fruits and the raw foods, because that will benefit you a lot. But I think that you would be good to do a couple of months of herbs to really clean the bowels. And I'm also experimenting to make my own GI broom to clear out the bowels, because that's something that you need to do, clear out the bowels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that, you would benefit tremendously from that.
Thank you a lot for the sharing of your expertise and your experience now. What do you have these couple of days? Very interesting. Thank you, Sara.
Yeah, I decided to be very much more transparent. It's a trip. No, but that's a part of my healing, and to really that's a part of the emotional stuff that I'm working on, to really share. And that's why I started to do all these online things, because that's the next step for me, to be very, very transparent and share what I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I think that's it for today then. And thank you so much for joining, for sharing, for asking, for doing this. It's wonderful to have you here. And please keep sending me your questions. This week it hasn't been so many questions. Maida, I know I have one unanswered question for you. Maybe we can do that now. I don't know so much about Ayurveda. I've never studied that. There's most likely different benefits from all of those teachings. What the detox is focusing on is to healing the organs from the inside. So for me, I would do that first, and then I would use the Ayurveda once I feel that my body has healed enough. And then you also need to feel into different things. If there's some particular things that you don't really resonate, like some different vegetables or some different herbs or some things, then of course you feel into that. But the general the base of the detox is the cooked food slows the detox down. And if you have specific things that you want to heal with the physical body, then I would go for that first.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because all these different things can get confusing. So
yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, it's so much stuff going on everywhere. It's very difficult to navigate it. But that's where you need to really go, what do I believe and what do I feel? What do I feel is right? And the way that I have healed through only the detox, it's tremendous. So I know that it works. And also for healing, as I said, the emotional and spiritual, it's a fantastic tool. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that really, that helps actually to know, like, focus on the detox first, and then afterwards maybe study more Ayurveda things as well too. But yeah, that really helps. So thank you.
Yeah, detox is not forever. It's healing.
Right.
So a period of life that you need to kind of undo what we've done before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel that the Ayurvedic can be more of a lifestyle.
Or your
everyday life. And then you can incorporate the detox. So most people who's been through this detox journey, who's been very, very deep in the detox journey, who has healed to a level that they feel is like, okay, this is where I want to be. And everyone has different. Everyone has a different goal. They feel like I'm done. But then they do like a spring cleaning and fall cleaning. So
right.
they do like they do like a month fast together with different herbs. So they clean out the system twice per year. So and that's probably a very good thing to do. And then you find your lifestyle in between, and whatever you do that feels great for you. Some people want to eat meat, or some people want to be vegan, some people want to do Ayurvedic. It's like you find your balance and you do whatever you want, and then twice per year you go a little bit deeper. But first you need to spend, if you have specific issues that you want to solve, you need to solve them first, and then you can go over to the lifestyle. That's my recommendation.
Okay. Yeah, I think the balance is key actually for all of this. I think I feel like I keep being brought back to the same place where it's like, you need to deal with this. And maybe even fast for 7 days with just water so that you can get to this and then incorporate the balance in your life. But I feel like if I keep ignoring it, I'm just going to keep being brought back to this space where the things are not healed yet. So
no, I totally I'm with you. I know exactly.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. I have just like a small technical question. With the grape juice, I wanted to try this, but I've heard that like the glycemic
oh, the glycemic index
for acne. Like, I don't know if it's good for me for grapes.
I think the grapes would be fantastic for you, because the acne is connected to the kidneys, and you want the kidneys to start filtering. So I would do either, it's what you're drawn to, but lemon is fantastic for you.
Yeah, but I've just been like lime and water as soon as I wake up, and that throughout the day. So I heard like lots of sour stuff is supposed to be good too, and
so you could do the master cleanse, would probably be most beneficial for you.
Okay.
And I'm also working on getting a kidney herb, a really good kidney herb, because that's like the kidneys are the base of all detox. So as soon as I get my hands on a really good kidney herb, I will let you know.
Okay, great.
So
thank you, Sara.
Yeah, thank you, and please ask me questions. It's fine. That means that you are invested in your health, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to be.
It's a process. Don't beat yourself up if you feel you're not doing enough.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm too hard on myself sometimes. I have to do it very perfect, otherwise I'm not, there's no point. But I'm slowly learning that, like, steps, even if this just helps me to make healthier choices throughout my day every day, I think that maybe it's good. So
I mean, it's like if you manage to keep the process like 80% of the day or 70% of the day, it's still 70% better than what it used to be. So
right, exactly.
Small victories.
Yeah. And it's really going deep, actually. It's more than just the food that's going in your body. It's the emotions that are connected to it, and why am I craving that? Oh, it's that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So
but that's what I use the fasting for, because then I deep dive and things come up, and so the emotional is a very big part of our healing, and why we are not always able to move forward.
Yeah,
we feel like a very little bit stuck.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. All right, thank you so much, Sara.
Thank you for a fantastic session.
Yes,
have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.